a lot of people ask me why I do what I do here, because this is extraordinarily time consuming. And there's a cost associated with it as well. I have a team, I have employees, I pay them. There's equipment, there's time, which of course is the highest or most valuable commodity. And it literally takes anywhere between 3 and 4 hours a day to put out a piece of content for you. That's how long it takes. And so I do this. A lot of people say, Oliver, why do you do this? Well, I do this largely because it has really historically been my dream, guys, to leave behind a legacy or a body of work that will stand the test of time, that can help individuals who have a genuine interest in entering the world of finance, in particular the world of trading, and find some content that can give them a foundational start that is true, that is devoid of sales efforts or ulterior motives. That it has been my dream to leave behind a body of work that would have served me well had that existed when I first started in this trading business in the early 1980s. As you know, in the early 1980s, there was no Facebook, there was no YouTube, there was really no internet at that time. There were no mentors, there were no seminars, there were no expositions or expos, there were no events, there was nothing. You tried by trial and error. You either got hired by a trading organization or you just did trial and error. And so I believe that my path toward some degree of trading proficiency would not have been as long had I had a body of work to rely on, had I had some foundation to start with. But there was nothing but complete darkness in the beginning, and fighting and scratching and biting for some glimmering ray of hope. And it was a long period of trial and error and bouts of depression and wanting to give up and crazy thoughts, crazy times, losing a big portion of my family members because I was so crazed with really wanting to do this. My parents thought I was throwing my education away. My family thought I was ruining my life because this is nothing but gambling. And it was something that frustrated me so greatly because they were right. It's crazy. It wasn't like they were wrong. That was the frustrating thing. It would have been easy if my family, my naysaying family, was wrong, but they were right. The evidence proved that everything they told me was right, that I shouldn't do this, that I shouldn't continue, that I was throwing my life away, that I was wasting my expensive education on something that was not paying off. And that's what made it doubly frustrating, because the words every single night when I put my head on the pillow at night, those words rang true and very loud to me. And they were a constant reminder that I'd better make something happen before these words become more true. But had I had someone, had I had something, had I had a body of work that walked me through things, it wouldn't have taken me 6 years or so, to gain even the first level of proficiency in my trading. It would have taken a fraction of that. So I made a promise a long time ago, during those dark years actually, that if I were to ever make it, I would do my little part to leave behind something. And I would leave it to the world to determine whether what I left behind was valuable, had some value to it or not, and enter the internet world, enter YouTube, enter Instagram, Facebook, enter the social media, enter this dynamic digital world that gives anyone and everyone the ability to have a voice and make that and transcribe that voice into many different forms and to create these electronic pieces of content forever. And that, I think, is a blessing. It has its problems, but it's a blessing. And I feel fortunate to be able to do this during this time in the digital arc of advancement that we're experiencing right now. So anyway, I just want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for your support. I want to thank you for everything that you do. You're a huge, huge motivation for what I do here on the channel every single day. All right. I spent a good portion of my time last year focused on the psychological aspect of trading because most people enter into this game from the greed aspect, which is normal, and the tactical aspect. So they're just looking to make money and they just want a tactic that works, a strategy, an indicator, or what have you. So most people come into this industry with greed as the motivation, and I want to make money, and I want to have a tool that helps me make money, and that's it. If that trader stays in this long enough, they begin to realize that this is far more important than making money. Making money is very important, trust me. But this is far more important than buying something for $1 and being able to sell it for $2 or $3. That this is a life-changing activity. That this is an activity that helps you evolve as a human being. That you move from being greedy to being more responsible, that you move from just wanting money to actually wanting to become a better person, a more responsible individual, a higher being, that you move to an altruistic state, that it's spiritual almost in nature, the journey, if you stay with it long enough, that you realize later as you stay longer in this activity that perhaps this activity in making you better can help you make the world better, it can help others become better through your activity doing this. So it just starts to expand. Another thing that happens if you stay in this activity long enough is that you realize that almost everything is psychological in nature when it comes to trading. That it's not you against the market makers or you against the market, it's you against you. The market, you realize that the market is neutral. You realize that no one's out to get you. You realize that at the end of the day, you are your worst enemy, and that you must do the best job you possibly can to get you under control, that you have to become more responsible, that you have to become better at keeping your word, that you have to keep your promises, that you have to become more intelligent, more calm, more patient, less greedy. And so this becomes a journey that starts off looking for money out there to actually an inward journey. How do I become a better person? And then how do I take that better person into the market to get better results?